Aloha, everyone. I wanted to hop on here because I'm doing this 10-day free immersion called The Body's Map to Healing that starts on Monday. I wanted to hop on and talk a bit about what this means for me. Um, it's actually really funny that I'm the one teaching this because many years ago, over a decade ago, I can remember my friend Ann Bibby coming back from a session saying that this therapist was having her work with her little girl, and we were both laughing about it. Like, we thought it was ridiculous. And it wasn't until many years later that my childhood trauma kept playing out in my adult relationships and a few marriages, and that really this came to the forefront of my awareness. And it's now like how I see it, it's like the single most important work we can do to know how to self-regulate our nervous system and self-soothe. So I originally learned this work through the Upledger Institute, learning craniosacral therapy and somato-emotional release. Soma means body, and so it's releasing emotions from the body. And so it's a process that I've kind of tailored now to as my own process, added things to it and do energy work with it and stuff. But it's basically a process where we go in to the body and access the subconscious mind, and which leads us to inner child work. And I just wanted to share with you guys that when I first started this work, when I would tune in to my little girl, my inner child, she was this writhing, like angry, full of rage, really difficult to be with little thing. And it made it really hard to like sit still with her. And whenever I really started to do the reparenting work, I started to really notice that the way I went in to parent her was in a frustrated way, and I was agitated, I was impatient with her. And then I realized when someone asked me, what are the qualities of your caregiver? And one of them, it was, I felt frustration, agitation, impatience from him. So I was modeling what I was shown in parenting in the way that I was parenting myself. Once that clicked for me, I was like, oh, okay, this actually, we need to really reach for this evolved way of parenting that some of us weren't shown. And it has to be so authentic and so full of compassion that the inner child actually trusts us. And a lot of times they don't right away. They won't even communicate with you right away. I see that a lot with clients where there's been so much abandonment of the inner child and so much betrayal and so much ignoring of the inner child's needs that when the adult finally does go in to try to connect to the inner child's like, no, like doesn't trust, doesn't find you reliable at all. And so there has to be this process that you build this reliability in yourself and show your inner child that you're going to be the one to hold her and hold her in whatever emotion she's experiencing. And a lot of times as kids we weren't not encouraged to share our emotions or be angry or any of those things. And so if that's what you were taught, that's often what you carry into your adult relationships. And what you are learning to do with reparenting is to give yourself permission, to give your inner child, this part of yourself, permission to feel what she feels, and really come from this place of like so much authenticity and so much gentleness, really, and curiosity, because this part of ourself will give us so much information and so much evolution. And honestly, the quickest way to self-soothe. And anytime we're triggered or have really big emotions, it's generally not about the thing that's right in front of us, but rather it's about something's being triggered in that inner child. So it's so important, this work. Like for me, yes, you need the embodiment practice. Yes, you need meditation. You need breath work. You need that stuff to move energy. And that's part of the program and part of what I teach with people. But this piece of reparenting, it really has to be really consistent, really authentic. And there's just a very specific way that you have to do it. And I say that because I used to half-ass it, like, and you name the modality, I've probably done it, like EMDR and emotionally focused therapy and, Avalon and all these things. And so it's like when I would kind of half-ass do the inner child work many years ago, it wouldn't really work. There weren't really results that I could see, or wouldn't really calm myself. And it wasn't until I learned, like, oh, it actually has to be so specific and so authentic so that you develop this line of trust between your present day adult self and this part of yourself. And that's the way that we actually begin to feel trust in the body. And that was a huge revelation to me after, I spent years like, I need to work on my trust towards the masculine. I need to work on my trust towards the feminine. And then it just became so clear of just like, oh, I don't feel trust because I actually don't trust myself. My little girl doesn't trust that I'm going to be there, that I'm going to be there to nurture and protect her and be the reliable, secure parent that she really needs. And so I'm just super passionate about this work because personally, it has changed my whole body and nervous system and the way that I cope with emotions. And I just see it work over and over again with clients and, people that have been in therapy for years and not able to kind of get the result that they want. They'll get it through the inner child work and the reparenting. So it's where all of my focus is going. It's really, I feel like it's like my dharma, my purpose in this life to retrieve all of the inner children that are emotionally frozen in time and, going like traversing timelines with people and going back to those places where the nervous system got disrupted and resolve what needs to be resolved and really update those old belief systems that were formed in early childhood more to the frequency of self-love and empowerment. So if you'd like more information, please direct message me, and I hope you found this helpful. Aloha.